You can't really get to where you want to be without feeling good in the process. You can get to some manifestation that sort of replicates it, but the true essence of what you wanted, you miss that mark unless you're feeling good. Here's it's going to feel odd example. Esther remembers many years ago sitting and looking through catalogs. They came by the hundreds to her mailbox. And she would save them until she had an evening that she could sit and look through them. And for the first hour, it was really fun. And then after a little while, she would feel worse and worse and worse and worse and worse because there were so many unmanifested things in those catalogs. At first, it was that idea, oh yeah, that would be fun to experience in this way. But after too many things that you don't yet own, it got out of balance. Have any of you ever done that to yourselves? Where at first it's fun and then you just think, I want to die. Because you've accentuated the gap between your desire and your manifestation, and you just got out of balance. So when you hear people say to their children, or you say to your children, are you never satisfied? The correct answer is no, in the sense that there will never be an ending to the desires that are flowing. But that balance is the satisfaction in the moment. Because what you're reaching for is seeing your goal or your desire through the eyes of Source. So how does Source see it? It is happening. It's a done deal. It cannot not happen. It's right on course. It's unfolding perfectly, and it's feeding you just like you wanted it to. Do you know that desires unfolding are like fuel? They're like fuel along the way, and you never want to run out of something to eat. When the desire itself is the manifestation you're reaching for, you've got it made. That is the secret to all of this. But when you need the manifestation of the desire, which isn't happening yet right now you're in this lackful place, and now the desire shuts down, and so do the impulses. When you're happy for the existence of the vortex, then the vortex must reveal itself to you in all of the tangible ways. And that's where the surprise and delight comes. But if the tangible ways are necessary for you to feel it, now you can't get there from there. It's important to understand that at the basis of everything that you want is a feeling. Everything that you want is for the feeling of the energy flowing through. And so life helps me know that I want these things, and then these things become a bigger idea, and then the idea occurs to me, and now I'm ready to proclaim to the world, I want this. I desire this thing. At that point of the bursting forth of that desire, there is an energy rush that really is what you're all looking for all the time. So the optimum life experience would be to be able to keep yourself in the position where you could be translating the things that you've been asking for into the idea and into the idea and into the idea. The only diminishment of life is when you take that idea that now is flowing and for some unnecessary reason, slow it down. And the reason that you slow it down is because you want to make it a reality now. And since it isn't a reality now, then you introduce lack or doubt into the equation, which doesn't allow it to keep going. Does that make sense to you? We're going to try to demonstrate it. So contrast helps you know that you would like to have this and 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 this. And a lot of what you're living, because it's your same point of attraction, is putting a lot of similar things into your vortex. So here your vortex is, it's accumulating all of these things that you're asking for, and you are not even all that aware of what you're asking for because life's coming fast and it's stacking up, and you can't really identify the pieces that you're putting in there, not really. But these pieces are becoming wholes, and these pieces and wholes of pieces are gathering cooperative components, and so there's quite a business going on here. In other words, there's something really remarkable that is happening that your inner being is just crazy for. Your inner being is just loving the becoming because it's the evolution of the spirit, it's the evolution of the whole, it's the evolution of all that is, it's the evolution of this leading edge time and place. In other words, this is what you came for, this is what you're doing, it's all right on track, it's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So here it is, becoming, gestating, getting ready for you to get ready for it. And you are ready for it. because you've been tuning in, you've been appreciating, you've been looking for positive aspects in things, you've been meditating, and you get a glimpse of it that is just intoxicating for a moment. The key in all of this is to keep yourself as best you can in that place of receiving the next idea and the next idea and the next idea and the next idea. And when you reach the place that you are hooked on the idea and you don't need the manifestation, then you'll have it, because then you'll always be in that sweet spot. Then you'll always be experiencing clarity. And strangest thing, all those manifestations will be raining down around you. And those who are watching it from the outside will think that your high is about the stuff. They won't understand that your high is about the high, and that the stuff is a consequence of that. We've been talking about this for a while in this way, and we think this is a good way to bring this all into a culminating place for you here today. If you need the thing to promote the feeling, you just can't get there from there. But if you believe that you can promote the feeling and you've mastered that, then the things have to come. Because once you've mastered the feeling, you've steadied the vibration. And once you've steadied the vibration, a consistency will happen which will cause momentum. And the momentum is necessary for the creation to come about. But when you want it but, and want it but, and want it but, then you don't allow the momentum. So the answer to that, really, it's caring about how you feel and remembering that everything that you want is about how you feel anyway. And then before you know it, you get the horse out ahead of the cart instead of the cart before the horse. And then you're out ahead of it. You're happy, and then you're happy, and then you're happy, and then you're happy, and then. That part of you that's not very well connected can become better connected, and then that part of you that's a little better connected can become better connected, and that part of you that's better connected can become better connected. One leads to the other, leads to the other, leads to the other, leads to the other. And it does not matter where you tune in to where you are at any point in time. It doesn't matter how far away you think you are or how far away you really are from connection with who you really are. Who you really are is going to continue to call you and call you and call you and call you and call you. And now you know what you know, you're going to hear the calling and you're going to know what to do. We overtalk this and we overthink this and we make it more complicated than it needs to be. It's being okay with it, and it's not trying too hard to figure it out. And it is this: when you know you're high, focus and watch yourself increase the momentum by your focus. When you know you're not there, bail out. Don't try to make it happen from there, because that just holds that place in that place that's strong enough that it'll keep showing up. If you don't try to fix that when it feels like that, you give your attention to it when it feels good and you withdraw your attention when it doesn't feel good, what happens is pretty soon that dissipates completely and it becomes a non-player in your experience. And since you are a creator, defocusing is a tool to bring your frequencies up. But once your frequencies are there, then you want to focus. When you think in terms of always managing your energy, you're managing your alignment, you're managing your connection. And so if you are, for whatever reason, not in alignment, then going more general will be more likely to bring you back into alignment. But once you're in alignment, then focusing just puts you in that sweet spot. And so there are a lot of people that think that if a little bit of meditation is good, then a lot more is better. But we would use meditation sparingly. If you knew how much you wanted to be focused in these bodies, you would not all the time be wanting to focus yourself out of these bodies. Meditation is certainly better than depression, because when you release thought, you release resistant thought, and your vibration rises and you feel better. But when your vibration is already there, when you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on, then focus. Don't defocus. We want to call your attention to the importance of this moment in time where you meet you. Now, this forum has focused you. Here we are. There isn't anything that is off limits. There isn't anything that we're not eager to talk with you about if you want to talk about it. But what has your life focused you to want to talk about? What are the things that came into greater clarity for you today? Because taking thought beyond that which it has been before is always the sweet spot for everyone. Anything that gives you satisfaction as you speak about it, it's a good way to practice your vibration. And focusing, you see, you could have this soft kind of conversation and it would be just fine if you were having it with someone over dinner. You could have a conversation like this and be just fine if you're just kind of getting to know someone. But at this stage of what you've come to know, and at this stage of the way the energy is flowing, this is a time for stronger focus. It's nice to come together with those like you, those exactly like you, those precisely like you, who are now in a different place than you were before. It's exhilarating for us to anticipate your realization of your vortex, piece by piece by piece by piece by piece. But even more exciting for us, more satisfying for us, is our awareness of your vortex. Your awareness of the vibrational reality that you've created. Your awareness, your ownership of your vibrational reality, your vortex of creation. That stuff you can't see yet, but your acknowledgement, your conscious acknowledgement of the existence of it. It exists as what you want to call the beginning point of so much that will satisfy you. But it could satisfy you right now as it is. And when you let it satisfy you right now as it is, then it will blossom into all the pieces that you want to show off to everyone else. But if you need to see it before you like it, if you need to see it and smell it and hear it and taste it and touch it before you revel in it, if the having of things matters more to you than the feeling of things, if the someone to love matters more to you than the feeling of love, if the money to spend matters more to you than the feeling of prosperity, if the solving of a problem matters more to you than the clarity of enlightenment, then it's gonna be hard. But if you revel in clarity, if you revel in emotion, as you let yourself be the emotional being that you were born to be, as you utilize that guidance to track where you are on this emotional scale, as you pay attention to the relationship between what your inner being knows about you and where you're going and what you know about you and where you're going, if you tend to that relationship, if you strike that balance, if you care about the way you feel, then you've got a happy path, a happy path, a happy path, a happy path. And we want to tell you it's not a path of no resistance. It's a path of plenty of resistance. There's lots of contrast on that path. But it's out of that contrast that you are able to carve out the precision of who you are and what you want. You came with such determination. You knew that life was going to be full of contrast and you knew that it would serve you well. What you knew most of all, what you knew when you made the decision coming in, where you were at when you decided to come, where you were at when you wanted to come, you were in that sweet spot. You weren't even manifested yet. You were not even yet a glimmer in your daddy's eye yet. You were consciousness on its way to being, but your body did not yet be. And yet your enthusiasm for what you knew you would be was so keen. We want you to enjoy this gestation time. We want you to enjoy the non-physical consciousness, the awareness of who you are and what you've got going. And yes, we're looking forward to every piece of everything that you manifest. And we'll be right there with you, enjoying it as you recognize it. But what we want you to feel from us now is that we're enjoying it in its vibrational form. And if you will do the same, then you'll be happy now, and manifestations will, as someone said, pop in all around you.